Welcome back to another episode of Dear Black Woman. We are a podcast featuring Black women from various countries. I am Cammy Red, joined by my co-hosts Lauren Edwards and Nicole Davis. Actually, Lauren's out sick, so we're sending love and light to you, Lauren. Today, we're talking about entrepreneurship and turning your passion into your purpose. And we're excited to welcome a special guest, entrepreneur and coach, June Tillman, as owner of Over the Hump Academy and founder of the She Knows experience. June has dedicated her career to helping others turn their passions into profit. Now, in this episode, we'll dive into our journeys as entrepreneurs, the challenges and rewards of building something meaningful, and what it takes to grow and thrive as a Black woman in business. From resilience to strategic growth, we're sharing insights on how to transform your love into something that not only serves others, but also fuels your own success. So if you've ever dreamed of building a business or wondered what it would take to make your passion your purpose, stay tuned because that is what we're bringing to you today. So let's welcome to the stage my co-host, Nicole Davis, and our guest co-host today, June Marie. Hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies. How's everyone doing this morning?
Yes, we are pumped for this episode.
I am always pumped and honored to talk about this particular topic.
Yes, Nicole, how are you doing? Because we know from the past 2 episodes, Nicole, you've been in Martinique, and I see you got on the look. You don't have the fan no more, and you got on a sweater today.
It was hot over there. I am back here. It is gray. It is low degrees. I don't like it. I don't like it. I need to sweater, some pants, some socks, a coat. I don't like it.
Don't like it. I don't blame you.
Look, you went from Caribbean heat to European fall/winter. So that was a drastic change. I know it. But I am happy you made it back home safely. I'm so glad that you enjoyed your vacation and your journey. And kudos to Allison once again for her film debut over in Martinique. I am super excited to see the results of that. And I cannot wait to have her on the show as well. So
yes, that sounds lovely. That sounds lovely.
Well, lady, we're going to get started. And my first question to both of you is, what inspired each of you to start a business and pursue your unique career paths? And how did you find clarity in what you wanted to pursue? We're going to open the floor to June first. So June, let us know, what made you want to pursue this career path?
So I feel like I was born with it. Like it was in my soul. It was my why. So that's basically what it was. It was like being genuinely who I am and then just turn it into a business. That's the really honest answer that I can give you. And I'm like, this is what I love doing. This is what makes me smile. This is what gives me life. And I give other people life. So why not make it a business?
That's literally the theme of today's show, turning your passion into your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you take people a step further by taking that purpose and helping them transform it into a profit.
Yes, because that's the only way I'm going to do it. It's a profit for me.
Yeah. Now, let me be honest with y'all. June, if y'all don't see no more free advertisement for free books, free audio books, and all of that stuff, it's June's fault. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Because June told me, she said, don't you give away another free thing.
And I did.
Yep.
And I meant that from the bottom of my heart, from one heart to another.
Yep. She told me, she was like, don't you give away another free book. Don't you make nothing accessible for people for free anymore. And I was like, message received. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Now, Nicole, for you, what has driven your passion as well? What inspired you to start your business?
Well, my life experiences. And that's funny that we have this podcast today because I was reflecting on my journey and I realized my mom was a hustler. My dad too. It was ingrained in the family, and I never put two and two together. And then I realized that I did so when I was younger. I was doing lots of things on the side. And then I really started to put two and two together when I was in the US. And I was like, oh, there's a lot of things that I know that I could be paid for instead of working a job and just having more freedom. So my life experience really was a big thing in pushing me into entrepreneurship for me, because that was freedom is key for me. And
Yeah.
freedom is key to me. So
Now we've talked about this before when it comes to Black women, and I'm not even going to say African American women. I'm going to say Black women because this is a global thing.
Yep.
We've talked about how we have expanded our horizons and have become the leaders when it comes to entrepreneurship. Not only, and I'm going to be honest, it's not only here in the United States. I did a little research myself. It's in Africa, it's in South America, it's in the Caribbean, it's even in some places in Europe, because we're stepping out of that norm, that box, to create paths not only for ourselves, but for those that are coming behind us.
Absolutely.
Ladies, how do you feel about being pioneers in the area and the field in which you work in? I know, June, you are a coach. You teach etiquette as well. So that is something that is, very unique. How do you feel about being a pioneer? And what I mean by pioneer is, yes, some of these services have been run by other cultures before, but as a Black woman, you stepping into the so-called etiquette arena, how does that feel for you?
So honestly, I'm probably still like in shock. Like I feel like every time I receive a contract, every time I receive a phone call, every time I receive an invitation, it really still feels not real. But I'm like, wow, I'm really doing it. And how I was inspired to pursue etiquette is because I seen a woman of color on the Phil Donahue show from California. And I was like, oh, she's on TV and she's facilitating etiquette and she's teaching etiquette and she's killing it. And that was my motivation, because I was like, if she can do it, I can. And that's just what motivated me, inspired me. And I was really filled. And I was like, oh, I have this. But to see a woman of color teaching like etiquette and people receiving her and being open to her, and she's really, really doing well as an entrepreneur, that was like, okay, I got this. Yeah. I got this. And I teach the children. That's my target audience. And I'm like, it's so fulfilling, because if I could teach to the youth, then I don't have to teach to the adult, because they're our next generation.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I always say that when you teach kids, they actually end up teaching their parents as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, kids are some of the best teachers, because they will correct you in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, they'll be like, that's not how you supposed to do that. That is not how you.
And the truth's gonna come out of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I get that all the time from the parents. The parents are like, did you tell my child not to wear pajamas? Did you tell my child not to do this? And I'm like, I have to convey the information in a way that they can receive it. But that's when the life coaching came into part, because I'm like, I can bridge them together. I can bridge them together. I can help the youth and then help the parents, and then we can all be in one full circle and we can help each other.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you using them kids as your marketing.
That part, because it's my passion and my purpose.
Yes,
and my purpose is not going to be my purpose if it's not turning into profit.
Okay. Yeah. No. So Nicole, for you, how does it feel being a pioneer? Especially because, let's be honest, Nicole, you're in Europe and you don't really get to see firsthand how we as Black women make our mark in the world as often. So how does that feel for you?
It feels amazing, because I believe it is time. it is time for us, and especially in Europe, to be more vocal and more visible. Because I think, and that's something that I've noticed, and I hope some Europeans are listening to me right now. I don't think we see enough of people of color in the forefront of entrepreneurship in Europe. And that is a little bit problematic. I know they do exist because I know a few, but I wish we could see them more because there's lots of talented entrepreneurs out there, and it would be great to see them more. So I am very grateful that I am able to do this. That I'm very grateful that I have the bandwidth still to be able to do that. That is a gift. That is not, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
That's right.
It is not.
It is not.
For everybody, because your business is a reflection of you.
Yes.
So every part where you expand, your business gonna be expanding with you. It's basically having a business is a journey of discovery. You
Mhm.
know, you discover what you are able to do, how you think, how you put things together, the things that you can achieve, the failure also.
Yes.
And just saying that, on the side, that because you have a failure, that do not mean that you are not on track, that you are
Yeah.
not aligned with your purpose. To the contrary, because your purpose is made of failure,
Yes.
mistakes, and all the things. It's not a rosy dovey. Oh, I have a business, la la la.
No, it is not.
It is not.
I'm gonna make money, and I'm not gonna fail, and it's just gonna be perfect. No.
No.
No. I've
The
learned
failure
that.
is the good part. The
Yeah. I was
failure
good.
is the good part. That's why I tell people when I coach them all the time, they say, what do you do? I said, just start. Start, because you're gonna fail. So just
Yeah.
start failing now. Just get
Yeah.
the failing part out the way. Just
Listen,
just do it.
failure.
You learn by
Yeah.
doing.
Failure is the best university, I like to
That
say.
it is the
Mm.
best.
Yeah, failure is the best university, because what it teaches us is it teaches us a lesson. And when you pick yourself up, because you're going to pick yourself up, you're not just
Yep.
going to stop at the failing. You're going to pick yourself up and you're going to restart again. And when you restart again, you're going to learn, you're going to have all of that, all of those lessons that you learned the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times around, because it's just gonna happen like that for us. And it's not just for us, that's for anybody who's actually starting their business, for anybody who's out there looking to, be an entrepreneur in any space. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's not
Never.
going to be a perfect situation for anything. So you are going to fail. You just like we fail in relationships, we fail in
Exactly.
other aspects of our lives. What do
Yes.
we do? We pick ourselves up, we
And keep
create
going.
a plan, and we
And we
keep
move
moving.
forward. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was
Mhm.
well said. That was well said, Cami, because I'm going to actually use that. So I'm just telling you ahead of time. Failure is the best university. I love
Yeah.
that. That's what that was it for me. That was it.
Mm.
Drop
Yes.
the mic. Drop the mic.
There we go. Okay. Yes. But no, like for you ladies, what have been, and I'm glad you brought up failure, Nicole. What have been some of the challenges that you faced early on in starting your business, in becoming an entrepreneur?
Ooh, that's good. That's
Mm.
for
Plenty.
that's good. For me, actually, the challenge for me was not doing it. That was the challenge. Thinking that I wasn't able to, thinking that I wasn't equipped,
Okay.
thinking that I wasn't ready.
Yeah, you
So
you
that
you walked into entrepreneurship with that perfectionist attitude and a little imposter syndrome mixed in all together, because you was telling
exactly
yourself you didn't belong in this space, and then telling yourself it just wasn't the right time. So
right.
yeah, those
So that's what
lessons.
it was. And it
Yeah.
was just like, oh, okay. So I think that was more so for me by just not doing it. Because once I started doing it, like you said, it was like, okay, trial and error, what works, what doesn't work. Knowledge is power.
Hmm.
Knowledge and like you brought
Yeah.
up in the beginning, clarity. Knowledge
Mm.
and clarity is power. But the only way that you're going to get those two things is by doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we as Black women have this, and that's why in my book, the very first lesson is perfection ain't real. The reason why is because we have this mindset that it has to be the perfect time. It has to look this way. We have to have all of these accolades and all of these credentials and all of these certifications, when in reality, no. When when God lays something on your heart, when he lays something on your spirit, it is totally telling you, when the universe says, hey, there's an idea for you, that is telling you that, hey, this is your time. And a lot of us miss our time because getting in our own way, telling ourselves it's not the right time. I don't look a certain way. I don't have this. I don't have that. But we forget the lesson of get out there, start, and everything will come to you.
Yes.
It will. It really will. I look back, like Nicole said, and I was just reflecting. And I look back when somebody asked me to send them over a professional picture. And my professional picture was with my own lighting inside my home office. And I gave them exactly what I had. And I made it as professional as I could. And then I look back at years over time. And I'm like, oh, this was taken at the studio. I went to the photographer. I did this. I did that. Like, so you really do learn by doing, and start with what you have. And when you start making money in your business, invest in your business.
Yes.
So you can look at where I started and where I'm at now. That's a beautiful reflection.
Yeah. So Nicole, for you, what's some of the challenges that you have faced as being an entrepreneur?
I would go also follow up on June, and I just thinking that I'm not capable or sometimes worthy even.
Mm.
You know, there's always something that kind of nag at you when you do something new and you haven't seen it. I mean, you have seen it, but you haven't seen it played out in front of you. And you're just doubting yourself. That would be doubt. And then I realized just get started and things get together, really line up together when you start doing things. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
really does.
So what I'm hearing from both of you, and even including myself, is that life's traumas have made us feel sometimes less than or unworthy enough to really
Yeah.
step into the light and be the person or the people that we were designed to be. But after you've overcome that, now you all are on the other side of this, and you are literally like thriving and building businesses. I know, June, you as a purpose to profit coach, tell us how you actually can take your purpose and how you've taken your purpose and turn it into a profit so that all of us can do the same thing.
So it's more so of like, you hit on a couple of things already. So I'm really big on your why. And I tell people all the time. I had a client the other day and she was just talking to me. And she was like, I was very discouraged when somebody asked me, like, how are you standing out? Like, how is she going to stand out in her business? So I waited for her to finish. And I was like, okay, how did you answer her? She said, I told her I had to get back to her. I said, no, your why is why you stand out. It could be a thousand of people that do exactly what you do, but
Yep.
your why is your unique purpose. That's your
Mm,
purpose. And your why is going to make you profit. But you have to break it down. You take this big thing and break it down into small steps.
mm,
And I'm really big on that. And I thank God for the vision that I have. I thank him for giving me the vision. That's why, like what you stated, you have to seek God for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
So I
mm,
have brunches and they're called see, seek, and speak, right? You have to be able to see your vision very clear. And you have to be able to seek God for clarity. And you
mm,
have to know that you have the power to speak it over your life.
Yep.
And once you put those things in uniform and you brain dump and you get you a good journal, you get you a notepad, you get you a pen, and you go to work and you just start writing different things down. And that's the creativity that keeps coming to you. It's a blessing to have a vision because
yeah.
not everybody has a vision because that's not their ministry or their lane. And that is okay.
Yep.
Because some people are visionaries and some people are executors. And that's why you need a team in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you can stay in your lane. But I'm big on turning your purpose into your profit, because God wouldn't have gave it to you if you couldn't make a profit off of it.
And that's what I mean by we have this thing where we say, well, I need this and I need that and I need to make this happen, but you wouldn't have had that vision if it wasn't meant for you to do it. You wouldn't have had that idea. You wouldn't have been able to think, this is where I need to be, this is the book I need to write, this is the business I need to start. It wouldn't have come to you if it
Right.
wasn't for you. You wouldn't be operating in that space if
Right.
it wasn't for you. Sometimes we experience things. A lot of us work corporate jobs before, and we have experienced things in our corporate lives that have driven us to start our own businesses. But what we don't realize is you experience that so that you can go out there and start the business, live the vision, and move forward. And then also so that you can tell the next person who comes behind you exactly what it was like for you and help them along the way.
Absolutely. It becomes a full circle.
Yeah.
It becomes a full circle. In my business, in corporate, I do exactly what I do as a coach. And that's why I'm actually, I love what I do as a career, like as far as a 9 to 5, because I'm basically a mentor, a coach, and a leader. And that's who I am by nature. That's my God-given talent. So that's why I can still stay in the field of property management on my 20th year and still go to work with a smile on my face every single day.
And
And
see,
that's a beautiful thing.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's a beautiful thing, because if I'm being honest, it's not many of us that actually find that in a corporate position or
Yeah.
working for someone else. Nicole, we've talked about your situation before. You have had an extensive amount of experience in executive work. You've had an extensive amount of experience in some of the things that you've done. And in your position, sometimes in your situation, that wasn't always favorable for you. Tell us how that helped you transition into entrepreneurship.
Because I had quite a few ordeals happening to me in the corporate world. And the last one was someone basically copying and pasting my resume and getting the job that I had requested for a long time without the qualification, without the degree, without even a second language. So I was like, you know what? I can do that. I can do better and I can work for myself. That was a little kick in the butt from spirit to tell me that I had a bigger thing to do. And sometimes the thing sometimes we need to think about is that we need to see ourselves as that magnificent, big person that we are, because we tend to minimize and just make ourselves small. And after this ordeal, and I was like, I'm no longer making myself small anymore.
I like that. I like that.
Because I was like, I've worked hard. I came to the US, I raised a child, I went back to school, I did all of this for someone to copy, to copy my experience, but not leaving everything that I did leave and thinking that it was okay. I was like, okay, someone is truly seeing my value, and I am
Mm.
and I am not seeing it, but I do not do that anymore. I'm seeing my value, what I am, what I have achieved, and I'm going full force with it. So that's why coaching was a good step for me, because I was doing that with all my colleagues. My
Right.
before I left, before I left, I coached one of my colleagues. She moved to another department. She wasn't unhappy in mine. Another person. There's 3 or 4 people for which I helped and guided, and I was like, I
You
can
got to
be,
send them an invoice. You got to invoice them.
Okay, that part.
You got to
can
invoice
be
them,
paid for
Nicole.
this. How can we paid for this? So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be doing this for myself.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it's just funny to see, because I think I think for entrepreneurs, starting again or just wanting to go about a venture, it's really about seeing that we are capable and worthy of it. Because I think at the beginning, for many of us, we question ourselves, like asking, but why are we doing this?
Mm,
Why should I be doing this? But yes, you should. You have the experience. God give you the talent.
that's
Go for
right.
it. And it went in my mind because I've been thinking about that for some years. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna ignore the calling anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not
That's
gonna
real.
ignore the calling,
yeah.
that was really that.
I think we as Black women have these doubts that were instilled in us.
Yeah,
It's a lot of stuff that we tell ourselves, and I don't think it's just one generation. I think it's generational.
it's
Um,
a generational thing. It
yeah,
truly
I
is.
think it was passed down to us. We were told how to act, how to be, what we need to do, how we need to do things. They shape it under the form of what's traditional and how you should live your life traditionally, this, that, and the third. And I think we have gotten so caught up in what the world or what our family or what
Yeah.
society is that we should do and how we should be and how we should act. And we walk around, and I hate to say this, a lot of us walk around with our head down, just saying, okay, I don't want to be ostracized, or I don't want to be, looked at as trying to step outside of something normal. But what is normal? What is,
Right.
like for me, I'm constantly telling people, I'll give you an example. I'm an RDN. I'm a registered dietitian and nutritionist. I went to school for nutritional science. Guess what? I'm leaving the field now. You want me to tell you why? It's so many people out here being health coaches, nutrition coaches, all of this stuff. I don't want to be in that box. I'm constantly thinking of ways to be outside the box. I'm constantly looking for ways for me to stand out and be different, be unique. And I'm gonna just be honest, that's probably the Gemini in me.
Probably. Did she say probably, Nicole? Because
Yeah,
it's all of the
but
Gemini in her.
from like even when I was a chef for over 20 years, I wasn't just a regular chef. I was known as the erogenous chef. I told people all the time, I'm a businesswoman. I love research. I love to do research. When I started in the culinary industry, I looked and saw what were the top two industries in the world. It's food and sex. Okay. So guess what I did? I
Combine them
combined them
together.
both. Yeah. I put them together because I was like, as a chef, I'm going to stand out. Plus, as a Black woman in the culinary field, I was being typecast all the time. I was being put in the pastry department. I was working beneath white male chefs who were utilizing my skills, my ideas, my mindset, and boosting themselves up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was being overlooked for positions that I was overqualified for. So I took it upon myself to say, okay, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to start my own business, and I'm going to be something totally different. I don't care what nobody says about me. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this money.
That's
And
right.
yeah, that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
That's
For years.
And that's how it is.
Yeah, like
That's how it is.
we get ostracized by our own people. We get put down by, like I told Nicole and Lauren before, a lot of what happens to us comes from within the house more so than outside of the house.
Definitely.
So, and one of the reasons why I built this platform, one of the reasons why I'm building the Dear Black Woman brand is because I want us to stop that that noise that's coming from inside the house. And I want to start looking at ways that we as Black women, Black people, start to uplift each other, support each other, and if in business, in life, in relationships, in all of that. So it just goes to what Nicole says all the time, how we were colonized, and not just here in America, but in other countries as well. And Nicole can attest to what's going on in Martinique, how everyone, we're fed up and we're tired of what we've been seeing, what we've been dealing with, how the world, how everyone is treating us. But as Black women, I think we have a responsibility to ourselves to move forward in this time as entrepreneurs. I think we do.
Absolutely. We're paving the way for the next generation, because I think sometimes it has something to do with maybe not even having that in our family, or a lot of history of that. And my mom is an entrepreneur. My grandmother was an entrepreneur. But I never thought that entrepreneur, I thought corporate America was it. I didn't even really think I didn't even have the vision of being an entrepreneur, until, a couple of years ago. So I think it's what you are been exposed to as well. And like, if they, like, I embed that in my daughter. I let her know, like, if you do not choose to go to college, it is okay. Right. I mean, for numerous reasons. Number one, I'm not trying to pay the bill if you're not really wanting to be there anyway.
And we all
All right.
know.
So if you're not trying to really be there, I'm not really trying to pay the bill. So, I think entrepreneur now is going to be amazing for the next generation, because so many Black women are paving the way. And of course, the Black man as well. You know what I mean? But I just actually love that, like, as far as the entrepreneurship and just paving the way for the next generation, so they could see more of that. Because some of us in our families do not see that at all. I seen it, but it was still never taught to me. It was never talked about. It was none of those things never came up. I just seen the sweat, blood, and tears. From them being an entrepreneur and not having a steady income. My mother was she still is a hairdresser, 40 plus years, still in the cosmetology world, still, clients canceling and, things like that. So still basically paving the way.
Love it. And when you get your daughter to be an entrepreneur, what you guys can say is that's 3 generations of entrepreneurship in your family.
Yes, that is huge.
Yeah, so because my grandmother, my mother, myself.
I was gonna say that is 3 generations, so it'll be 4. Yeah.
So it'll be 4, and I'm super excited about that. And I did tell her also, like, take some business courses, because we need. I'm big on the business etiquette 101. I'm gonna need you to get the basic essentials in your business.
Yes. So, Joan, let me ask you this: share with us a couple of coaching techniques that you use to help your clients stay motivated, and for what personal habits and practices should we be focused on during difficult times?
So the first thing that I always have my clients do, which I think is very important, because not only do I do purpose to profit, I do motivation to inspiration. Because you do know that you can stay in the motivational field. You can stay in that stage, in that arena for a long time. But when you become inspired, you do things like this, right? Nothing really stops you when you're inspired. So there's a difference. So the first thing that I start off with my clients, write a letter to yourself.
Yes.
Write a letter to yourself. Get in that space. Take some deep breaths. Close your eyes. Embrace. Envision. And write your letter to yourself. And when you write that letter to yourself, you get in the mirror and you say it out loud. And if it does not bring tears to your future self, go rewrite it again. Because your future self should bring you to tears on where you're going to see yourself down the line. And it can be challenging for people, because some people think that they don't have a vision. But that's how to tap into your vision, because you do have something inside of you. You do have a purpose inside of you. So my main thing, I start off with that, and then celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
I have a board in my office, and it's not boasting, it's not bragging. And if it is, so what? Right? Because I have accomplished these things. And I have different speaking engagements that I spoke at. I have when I taught etiquette, when I'm on podcasts, whatever the case may be, whatever made me feel good, whatever I started and finished, because that's what business is. You start
Mm.
something and you finish. That's
You
what college
finish
is.
it. Yeah.
When they look on your resume for college, they want to know that you started it and that you finished it. They could care less about anything
What
else.
you did in between.
What
Yeah.
you did and how you did it, what grade you received, it gives you a sense of completion. So in
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, it's what you start and what you finish. Celebrate your wins. Take your hand and go like that and pat yourself on the back because you're going to need those wins when it's a slow season because we
Yeah.
all have a slow season. Use your slow season to reflect, reset, and
Mm.
recharge and open that journal and say, oh, I did this then. I did that then.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps your motivation because if God did it then he can do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you laid onto something that Nicole said when you said celebrate your wins. Nicole said how she was minimizing herself. I think we were taught to do that. I'm not going to be. I'm going to be a little blunt. I think we were taught to
Yeah.
to minimize ourselves for the world. But I think it's very important that we find a way, like you said, small wins, big wins, everything. We need to
Mhm.
look at that and think about, oh my God, look, I was here 6 months ago and look at where I am right now. Look
Yeah.
at what I've done. Look at what I've accomplished in these 6 months. Look at what I've, brought to pass in this
Right.
1 month. Look at what I've done in
Mhm.
this week. And, take yourself out.
You have to
Celebrate.
celebrate that. And
Yeah.
see, I was taught the opposite. So, and that's why I give a lot of confidence coaching. Not because I'm better than, it's because it was embedded in me. So
Mhm.
my parents, I came out the womb with confidence. My parents always told me, celebrate yourself. Do this, do that. Like brag about that. I came from
Yeah.
that. And when I realized I talked to other women, especially Black women, and I'm like, I don't know how to not be that way. Like, I don't, they were like,
Mm.
June, how do you do it? And I was like, honestly, it's my parents, my grandmother, they were some vain people in a great way. And they
Mm.
taught me to just have a lot of confidence no matter what. Like just push through and pick yourself back up and know that you are amazing no matter what. So I've been taught that at a very young age. And I didn't realize into speaking to other individuals that that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It
That's a
is.
blessing that to have parents and in your circle teach you that. I was taught that. That was like one of my lessons. Like always
Mm.
believe in yourself. Never say can't. I used to tell my dad, he used to say, don't say can't. It's not in a Black man's vocabulary. I said, but I'm not a Black man. He said, woman. You have man, you have man in your name,
Your dad is an
right?
OG.
He was like, you have woman. He was like, can't is not even in your vocabulary. So I've been blessed to be embedded with that.
Mm.
And see, I'll be candid here and let you know that I come from the opposite type of situation. I come from my parents telling me, oh, you can't do this or you can't do this that way. But to me, because of my mindset, I'm just gonna say it's probably that Gemini mind again. Um, I went out and I did the opposite. So when I got on my healing journey, one of the things that I have said to my parents is, hey, don't tell me what I can't do, because every time you tell me what I can't do, I go out there and prove not only can I do it, I can exceed in doing it, and I can be successful in doing it as well.
And you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's yeah.
every time someone, and you have to, even if you weren't raised the way June was raised, if you were raised the way I was raised or somewhere in between both of us, then you
Mhm.
have to find, like me, my motivations was them telling me what I couldn't do. And I was like, you
Exactly.
know what? You can say what I can't do, but watch this. Watch me. Watch
I'm gonna
me
show
do
you.
this.
I'm gonna show you better than I can
I'm,
tell
I'm
you.
gonna show you better than I can tell you. So yeah, that's why I say we have to, even if the confidence wasn't given to you, you have to go out and you have to find the confidence. That goes back to what we said at the beginning about knowing your worth and knowing that you are worthy of doing the things that you would like to accomplish. Knowing that, it doesn't take the perfect setup, knowing that it doesn't take the perfect time. It doesn't take anything being perfect. It just takes you saying, I'm going to do this.
Right. And it's your why, because we can have the same client, but your why and my why is going to determine who that person works with. Because if that person can relate to your why, then they're going to go with something that's more relatable. If they can relate to my why, they're going to go. That's why I tell people all the time, you can share the platform. I share my platform with other people all the time because it's no competition at all. Because guess what? Nobody on this earth can never be June Marie.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
There's
y'all both,
only
I
one
share,
me.
yeah,
There's
y'all
only
Exactly.
one
both know.
Cami Red. There's
Yeah.
only one Nicole. So therefore, it's okay. Even if we did the same thing, we all coach,
Yep,
right?
we
We
do.
all coach and we all coach. You're different in your way. I'm different in my way. Nicole is different in your way. And that's what I tell my clients. So you take your purpose and your why and you turn it into profit. And that's whatever profit looks like to you. If profit is $500 to you, then you turned your purpose into profit. I never say how much, right? That's the catch, because we all have different things and we all view money different, and that's okay. So your profit could be 10,000, your profit could be 20, 40, 50, 60, a million, a billion, a trillion. It doesn't matter. As long as you turn your purpose into profit, mission accomplished. Hands down.
Yes, I love it.
Hands down.
So listen, ladies, it's funny that you said that about sharing your platform with others. As both of you know, I literally work to share my platform with other women. I work to put Black women on. How do you think we as a community, and what I mean by community is Black people, how do you think we should go about supporting each other? Because let me start with, I'll go dark and then go light. So a lot of us have been traumatized in the past from working with Black owned businesses. How do you think we should move forward in this light as Black women trying to out here being entrepreneurs, working our business, doing the things that we need to do in business? How do you think we should build community and try to focus more on making sure that we're uplifting other Black businesses and bringing other Black businesses to the forefront?
I feel like everybody brings something different.
Yeah.
So I feel like the individuals who haven't had those experiences may want to be on the front line. So other people who've been traumatized by those experiences can know. And I say that because I haven't had bad experiences, right? I also learned that that was a blessing.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say, yeah.
yeah, so with that being said, I'm able to build platforms very freely. And then the individuals or the women that step on my platform are in awe. Like, you really, there's no spirit of competition here. Like, you really want us all to drop our links. Like after Wind Down Wednesday, I was like, does anybody have any events coming up? Like, how can we support each other? So I feel like the person, because we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses.
Yes.
So I feel like if that's that person's strength, then allow that person to bring the community together for other individuals that don't have that same strength. And then that individual is going to say, well, you know what? I used to feel the same way you felt. But after I joined this community, now I feel this way. And then you keep passing it on down the line. It will keep going. It will keep going down the line because that trauma is real. There's people that are not nice out here. There's people that have a spirit of competition. There's people, and that comes, we act like that. We act who we are because of our life experiences. So it's not a fault or a blame. You give that person, you extend that person grace. And I feel like that's how we can continue to build community, like just being wholeheartedly sincere and genuine and just
Mm.
really be yourself. Like I only could show up as myself. I don't know how. I've pretended. I've tried to sit there and be like, and That's not me.
No.
Mm.
That's not me. Like I'm gonna tell you something and it's probably gonna hurt you. Oh, it's gonna sting you. It's gonna hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
That's how God designed me.
And
It's
that's
like
okay.
that's what it is. It's
Yeah,
gonna hurt. It's gonna say ouch and it's gonna say sting. But
it's coming
we
from a
all
place of
it's
love,
coming
though,
from a place
too.
of
Yeah.
love. And if nobody doesn't tell you, we're not all meant. I think when women realize that we're not all meant to be the same, like you don't have to do what this person is doing. Because
Exactly.
my audiences are my audiences. My audience are people who are ready to get over the hump because they
Mhm.
know I don't have time to play games with them. I don't have the capacity, the patience, and I don't desire to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't desire to fool around with you. When you ready, let me know. If you're not ready, get out of here.
Yeah.
Go somewhere
And
else. I'm not
that's
the
what,
Exactly.
coach for you. I'm not going to motivate you 50,000 times. I'm the coach where it's just like you're looking to turn your motivation into inspiration. You're looking to turn your profit, your purpose into profit. You're looking to grow and develop. Work with me. If you're not and you in between stage, let me refer you to my other sister coach that's going to work with you and coddle you because that's her heart. That's not mine.
yeah.
It's not my ministry.
I think
Mm.
somebody told June she needed to be more empathetic and sympathetic. And I told her, I said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't want, I told her, I said, I
I
don't
said I'm
want
gonna
that,
try.
June.
I'm gonna
I
be.
said,
I said because I
I
don't
don't, I
mean
said, you
that.
use that with other people. I don't want that, June. I want my friend who gonna tell me the truth and be
Yeah.
blunt about
I'd
it.
rather have that too.
Yeah,
Oh, come
She shouldn't
on.
have never told me that, guys. When she
yeah,
told me that, it was on. I could be myself and we could still be friends. We could
yeah,
still be business besties. We could still be everything. And I could show up as myself and you not. And if I sting you a little bit, you take this thing and you like, that's out of love and that's who she is.
yeah.
That's the community for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's what I told her. I was like, no, don't change who you are. Be you. Be who
Yeah.
you are, because even when we're seeking therapy, even when we're going through different things in life, we're seeking somebody who's going to tell us the truth. Yes, some of us need to be coddled and sometimes our hands need to be held. But if I'm being honest with you, at our right grown ages, like at some point you got to stop babyfying other people, and you
Yes.
got to be able
We
to,
need to stand on
yeah,
our 2 feet.
yeah, you got to be able to speak your mind, and you got to be able to say, if I'm telling you to show up authentically, if I'm telling you to walk into the room and be yourself, that doesn't mean walk into the room and be a dimmed lighter version of yourself. It means walk into the room and be who you are.
Yeah.
That's right. I like that. You
Exactly.
didn't give me an extra bold confidence today. This is why I love community and sisterhood because it keeps me going.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth.
That's your motivation. It keeps you going because platforms like this and the space is able to do that. It just like my day's gonna be absolutely amazing now.
Yeah, and especially since it's rare, still, it's rare, but I've noticed that more and more people want to be surrounded by people that they're going to appreciate a community because we've been separated for a long time. We've been separated for a long time, trying to do our own things,
Yes,
raising our kids and stuff. It's just having a community is just knowing that there's a safe place where you can show up as you are is, my God, is just amazing. It truly is.
it
And
is.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just think that's my calling, is to tell people to be yourself. Like I think that is
I
what.
can attest to that.
Me too, Nicole. Me too.
I can attest to that. I can
Like
attest to that.
I think it's me, and I've always been this way, where I've been non-judgmental about the way people are. There's
Mm.
so many. It's like ice cream. There's so many flavors of ice cream out there.
You're right.
There's a flavor for everybody, and I'm one of those people that tell you, listen, I like a bunch of different flavors of ice cream. So I don't care who you are. I want you to come and be yourself. I want you to come and be who you are authentically. Don't put on no mask with me, because I hate all of that fakery. I
Yeah.
want you, if you mean, be mean.
Be
If
me.
if you vulgar, be vulgar.
Right. Be
Like,
whoever you are at that particular time. And I think
yeah,
that's an awesome message. Like that was good.
yeah.
That was because that's
So,
ultimately the goal. Be who you are.
ladies, what common misconceptions do you think exist out here about entrepreneurship, and how do these myths sort of impact Black women pursuing business ventures? Nicole, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, I think, on Instagram and on social media, there's a vision of entrepreneurship that seems to be very glamour, very, excuse my French here, to be very glamour, very, oh my God, I'm doing this, I'm making these millions. No, bitch, you're gonna have to work. Let me just like, yeah, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to put yourself in questions. You're going to have to work on your personal development as well if you want to go further with your business.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
People need to realize that it's not going to be always easy, but it's going to be amazingly rewarding.
Mm, yeah, I like
It's
that.
amazingly rewarding. You're gonna meet people. You're gonna expand your heart, the way that you live, the way that you see the world, and that is invaluable.
I like that.
Mm.
That was good.
Thank
I
you,
think
Jean.
that was good. I think mine's is that you're gonna be rich overnight.
Oh my God!
Or
Oh my God! That's
entrepreneurs
it. I'm an
make so much
entrepreneur.
money. Like when
I'm gonna
they
be winning in a year.
yeah, I think it's like they feel like when you tell somebody that you're an entrepreneur and they're not an entrepreneur, because another entrepreneur know the struggle is real,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's no joke. So I think it's just more so of when they hear entrepreneur, they hear rich, they hear wealthy, they hear just a lot of money, and that comes with time.
Yeah.
That comes with a lot of sweat, blood, tears, losing money,
A
investing.
lot of
That
it
comes with
here.
just, oh, this didn't work. I spent money on this and this
Hallelujah,
didn't work.
June. Hallelujah.
Like, oh, it didn't work. I spent all this money on that, and guess what? It's not copywritten. Like, I have to change everything. Like, so I think that's the misconception that people have, that entrepreneurs are rich. And that's why when I teach to the youth, I let them know that the struggle is real. It can be done.
Yeah.
It definitely can be done. Right? It can be done, but it's gonna happen over time, and don't expect to be rich over time. But you can, it can happen. That's all I can say. It can happen. And then that's when you tap into different resources of, okay, now maybe I have to get some products because I shouldn't do this. And, so I think that's the misconception that individuals have, that entrepreneurs are rich, unless you're speaking to another entrepreneur that knows that that's not the case.
That's not
Yes.
the case. That's the fantasy, not the reality. Okay.
Exactly. June, that was just so spot on. Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, because that's what I thought.
We
I
are
said,
going to be millionaires, but
yeah, that's
I'm
what
looking
I
for
thought,
God.
and I'm looking for the money. Where's the money?
I know it's not
I'm
going to
spending
be
a
going
whole
to
lot,
be
but where's that? Where the dishing out part?
like,
But listen, it's like you said, when you make that investment into yourself, we
yes.
have to think about how we've invested in other companies, how we've invested our time, our money, our dedication, our collaborations, how we've invested in so many ways, our emotional well-being, our mental well-being, all of that in so many other companies, that if you have this vision and you have this desire, you have to invest those same things in yourself. You didn't just get a raise and receive a promotion overnight in somebody else's business. You had to work for that as well. So in your own business, it may seem a little harder, but you have to invest those same things. You got to be willing to work the 9 to 5 part of your business. You got to be willing to create a team of people. You got to be willing to get out there and market and network. You got to be able to say, okay, well, this didn't work. Let me rewrite my business plan to figure out some ways to make this work for me. Even if your products don't sell, but you got to get the product out there.
It takes work.
It takes work.
It takes work. It takes work.
But
it can happen, but it takes work. Yeah.
It goes back to what Nicole said. The work becomes the reward. And once you put in the work, you'll start to see. It may not look like riches right away, but like going back to June, celebrating those wins, celebrating those small things that happen, looking at those small things, that's what keeps you motivated. That's what says, okay, I can get out here, I can do this, I can make this work. Let me ask you this, June. For those hesitant to monetize their passion or that are uncertain about launching a business, what advice would you give them to help them take that first step?
That's a good question. So
that means always coming prepared.
That was good. That wasn't good. That wasn't in the script, you guys. So that wasn't in the script. That was good, and that's a good food for thought. So I definitely appreciate that. I think it's more so of if you sat at a 9 to 5, which is okay, and you turned their purpose into profit, why not do the same for yourself?
I got to give you a round of applause on that one, because yes.
Because honestly,
why not do it for yourself? That's like, I'm clean cut and dry. So that's because that's what I had to tell myself. I had to tell myself, like, yes, you can make $100K for a job. You could do all of that. You can make $200K, $150,000. Like, you can do all of that. But why would you not try to start to make that for yourself?
Yes.
Invest in you. The same way you have invested in the same way the companies have invested in themselves to have you come on board. You can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Take those skills, that same mindset, everything that you've done for them, because they've invested in you. They see something in you that
that you see, and stay on the 9 to 5, so you can keep investing in your business. And that's what you have to do. There's nothing wrong with that. If it's an environment for you that you don't mind being in, then know that. Change your mindset in reference to this is a job. No, this is funding my business. This platform is funding my business and my vision. And you do that until you have the things that you need for your business, until you have your products, until you have everything that you need, until you are making the same profit that they're making.
Okay. Well, ladies, this is my last question to both of you all. Looking to the future, what shifts or improvements would you like to see in the business world that would better support Black women entrepreneurs? And June, I'm going to start with you on this one.
That was hard. Why are you starting with me? That's hard. That wasn't in the script either. Well, one, we already touched on community. Building platforms, safe environments, building that community. I think that's important to move forward and to be supportive, to find your tribe. You have to find your tribe. That's what I would say. Just finding that community and finding your tribe and push forward and kind of just go from there.
Okay, Nicole, same for you. What shifts or improvements would you like to see in the business world that would better support Black women entrepreneurs?
Better resources for people who are starting a business.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of things out there and you can get lost in the sauce. That and better access to funding.
Yes, that was good because we dish a lot of money out, but where's the funding? That was
You
good.
know, better access to funding and really better resources for people who are just starting, because I know it was daunting and often overwhelming to see there were so many things out there, but you needed to go and filter through to figure out what was what and what was adapted to you. I
Yeah.
wish someone would be coming out and saying, you are brand new, you are putting a business uh, in the world, you're a coach, a consultant, whatever, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
So far I found one person who do that, one
Mm.
person, but truly do that and speak about all the things that need to be done and
Mm.
how it can be done.
Nicole is giving somebody a business idea. So if you out there listening and you hear what Nicole is saying,
We need you.
yeah.
We're
So if you
saying
been,
because
if,
it helps when you start with the good foot, because it's not about not making mistakes, but honestly, if you can gain time engaging to your client, to your purpose faster, why not?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Why not?
So
Why
if
not?
you've been pondering how to, help other business women, Nicole just told you what's needed and what we need. So maybe if that's your calling, if God has put this in your heart, Nicole just let you know that it's your time to step up because we all need you.
And
Okay.
because I
That's
believe
right.
many more people gonna be thinking about entrepreneurship, and we're all gonna be needing to, you know, uh, to look into it, because the way
Yes.
that the governments are spending our money
Ooh.
doesn't jail these days. Let me just say this: I'm not even gonna be talking about France because
That's a whole nother podcast, right?
that's a whole other podcast. But
By
it's just
itself.
we're gonna need basically to be able to rely on us, whether it is for food, whether it is for the purpose that we have and the job that we want to do, for to rely on a good community, because the government is not for us. Let's say that all those laws were not made for Black people, so we have to think about us foremost.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That
you're
was good.
right. That was right. All right, ladies, I want to say thank you again for your time. Thank you, June Marie, for being on the
You,
show
it was so good
today.
Thank
to have you,
you.
dude.
Thank
It
you,
was so
ladies.
fun.
I
Yes.
enjoyed. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
listen. We're gonna have to get together on schedule because you gotta come back again. You know that, okay?
That's right.
No,
That's
no, I
right.
totally enjoyed and I'm grateful. You are welcome because I'm learning when somebody says thank you to fully say you're welcome. Don't deflect from that. So you are welcome and I am honored. Thank you both ladies.
Thank
Oh, you are
you.
so sweet. You are so sweet. No, I'm really hoping that we're going to do that again. That was really fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
And we
will.
will.
We will.
And I'll be reaching out, by the way. I'll be reaching out, by the way, because I think we have
Okay.
a lot
I'm
of things
here.
to talk about.
I'm
That sounds
here.
good.
Okay, guys, thank you again for another wonderful episode of Dear Black Woman. Again, we are a podcast featuring women from different countries talking about things that inspire, educate, and motivate Black women. We hope our conversation today encouraged you to think about the ways you can turn your own passion into purpose and even into profit. Remember, the journey of entrepreneurship comes with challenges, but it's also filled with growth, resilience, and the power to create something meaningful. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with someone who might need this inspiration. And don't forget to leave us a review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on your favorite podcast platform. A big thank you again to June Tillman for her insights and to Rabbit Productions for the music that gives our show its unique vibe. And until next time, keep building, stay focused, and always remember the power of your purpose. Dear Black Woman is a podcast where we dive into the challenges, current events, and everyday realities Black women face around the world.
We're here to share real stories, offer practical advice, and create a safe space for authentic conversations that empower and inspire.
Join us each week as we connect, uplift, and celebrate the resilience and strength of Black women everywhere. Listen to Dear Black Woman on your favorite podcast platform.